I'm Radu from the University of Bucharest, and I'm excited to present our novel benchmark on cross-domain multilingual audio deepfake detection. This is joint work with my colleagues Johan, Andrew, Cataline, Paul, and Christian. Before we begin, I want to emphasize that this work addresses a critical gap in audio deepfake detection, proposing a cross-domain evaluation benchmark where speakers, data sources, and generative methods are unknown. Recent advances in audio generation led to an increasing number of deepfakes, making the general public more vulnerable to financial scams, identity theft, and misinformation. In a recent report, it was found that the number of frauds based on deepfake increased tenfold from 2022 to 2023. Another report by McAfee found that this is particularly worrying for the audio domain, since it was determined that roughly 70% of people are not able to tell if a voice is real or fake. Audio deepfake detectors promise to alleviate this issue, with many recent studies reporting accuracy rates close to 99%. However, due to the limitations of existing audio deepfake datasets, audio deepfake detectors are generally tested in an in-domain setup, where the deepfake samples from the training and test sets are generated by the same audio generation tools. The reported accuracy levels of current audio deepfake detectors do not reflect the actual performance of these models when tested in the wild, where the speaker identity or the generative method remain unknown. To this end, we introduce a novel benchmark for cross-domain audio deepfake detection in multiple languages. XMAD-Bench contains 668.8 hours of real and fake speech across 7 languages. We carry out comprehensive in-domain and cross-domain experiments to evaluate audio deepfake detectors based on state-of-the-art neural architectures. We show that deepfake detection models perform poorly in the cross-domain test, while performing almost perfectly in the in-domain test. XMAD-Bench contains 668.8 hours of real and fake speech across 7 languages: Arabic, English, German, Mandarin Chinese, Romanian, Russian, and Spanish. XMAD-Bench also provides an official 3-way split of the data samples into a training set, an in-domain test set, and a cross-domain test set, such that speakers are distinct across splits. More importantly, the cross-domain test set contains real audio samples from data sources that are distinct from the training set, and deepfake audio samples generated by a different set of generative methods than the training set. This leads to a challenging cross-domain evaluation setup, which allows audio deepfake detectors to be tested in the wild. XMAD-Bench consists of real audio clips collected from various speech datasets, as well as fake clips generated from the real ones. For fake audio generation, the transcribed text of the real audio sample is first passed to a TDS model. Next, a VC tool is applied to the generated speech, using the voice of the speaker uttering the real sample as reference. Deepfakes preserve text content and speech characteristics. Real audio samples are taken from 2 distinct sources, one for training and in-domain testing, and another for cross-domain testing. To assess the signal quality differences between real and fake samples, we report the speech activity ratio and the signal-to-noise ratio. To assess the difference between real and fake samples in terms of perceived quality, we employ a perceptual evaluation model. SAR and SNR values are fairly similar for both real and fake samples. SIG, BAK, and OVRL values further confirm that the perceptual quality of deepfake samples matches that of real samples. In summary, fake samples are of the same quality as real samples. XMAD-Bench comprises over 660 hours of speech across 7 languages. The dataset comprises 400,000 samples. For the in-domain scenario, we use different speakers across training and testing. For the cross-domain scenario, we also change the data sources and the generative methods. For each language, we report results for both in-domain and cross-domain test sets. In addition, we also carry out cross-lingual experiments, training the models on Arabic, German, Romanian, Russian, and Spanish, and testing them on English and Mandarin. We evaluate several deep neural models for speech processing, ranging from convolutional networks to transformers and foundation models. Several models reach an impressive performance of 100% on the in-domain split, confirming that deep neural models can easily capture the characteristics of generative models, regardless of the target language. The cross-lingual in-domain experiments indicate that the language shift does not significantly affect performance. The cross-domain results support our conjecture, demonstrating that most metrics drastically decrease when detectors are tested in the cross-domain scenario, where fake samples are generated by models unknown to the detectors. Notably, Wave 2 VEC and Whisper outperform all other models in the cross-domain setting on most target languages, both showing a strong ability to generalize to unseen generative models. We further evaluate how one of the best-performing models handles the deepfake detection task under background noise injection. The results indicate that the introduction of audible yet moderate noise does not affect performance. Increasing the noise magnitude degrades performance, but at this noise level, some utterances are indistinguishable by humans. On Arabic, AST tends to label many real samples as fake, while ResNet exhibits both types of mistakes. On English, the two models have opposite biases. Overall, the confusion matrices indicate that the biases are specific to the models, not to XMAD-Bench. In this paper, we introduced a novel multilingual cross-domain audio dataset to evaluate deepfake detectors in the wild. We evaluated the performance of 6 state-of-the-art models from the literature in terms of multiple metrics, showing that our cross-domain evaluation scenario causes a significant decline for all the reported metrics. Our results highlight the difficulty of generalizing audio deepfake detection across datasets, languages, speakers, and deepfake generative methods. Our GitHub repository contains the dataset and code to reproduce the baselines. We welcome questions and would be happy to discuss any aspect related to XMAD-Bench. Thank you for your attention, and feel free to contact us via email or visit our GitHub to access the dataset.